Ready? Chapter 37, Revelations. The sirens from a bomb alarm was echoing. Keon was standing on one side of the doorway to a house. A man was standing next to him on the other side as they both peeked outside, looking around to see what was happening. There are no bunkers here, no safe places at all. Where are we supposed to hide? The man shook his head. No one was prepared for this. The world is descending into chaos right before our very eyes, Keon said with sadness in his voice. I have a feeling this is only the beginning, Mia, the man said in response. Keon looked at him. The beginning of the end. He turned his head to the outside again. His eyes widened. Before he could even move, it had already hit. His body was hurled backwards through the air. In the next moment he hit the floor with an incredible force. He saw the man he had just talked to laying on the floor next to him. They looked at each other as the roof and walls collapsed on top of them. Keon opened his eyes, only to see a large figure standing above him. Leah was raising her axe, ready to strike right at him. I know, he said loudly as he shook her hand in panic. She woke up with a jolt. What? Leah lowered her axe again, saved at the last second. Don't you dare hurt him! Aino stared right at Leah. Leah stared back at her. And what are you going to do to me? You're only a shield, not a weapon. Your blood made me stronger than you. She turned her attention back towards Keon. You will be my first victim. Once I'm done with you, I will move on to Niklas, Anton, Simon, Anders, and Lukas. She counted them down on her fingers as she said their names. My childhood friends. What did they do to you? Keon asked her, horrified. What did they do? You didn't even see half of the things that went on. You were much younger than them, and they used you as they pleased. From where did you think I got all of these large scars all over my body? Did you think I did it to myself? That I wanted to die? They loved their knives. They were going to kill me that night that I left. I barely made it out alive. They cut me up everywhere. I still remember how Simon said that he wanted to cut me up and kill me, like they had done with your parents. She clenched her teeth. Keon felt his breathing stop. His friends, they were the ones who had killed his parents? The very people he had relied on when it all happened. Why? She cut in. Because they enjoyed the hunt, the kill. You think I ever cared much about these mage wars? About the ruler? Any of that shit? I became a mage so that I could get revenge on my tormentors. I will kill every last one of you. The three doctors, Grima, Boyhild, and Nanna, were heading towards the riverbank. They all wanted a morning wash before today's trip. As they came closer to the water, they bumped into Leah as she was heading back to the camp. The second lieutenant gave them all an angry glance as she passed them. Nanna looked back at her with a questioning look. What's her problem? I don't think there is just one, Boyhild responded. As they approached the river, they saw Keon and Aino. They both looked pretty shaken up. Grima smiled. Finally he could address his creator directly. Yesterday both Ayla and Nila had uplifted the order of only generals being allowed to do it. All officers now had the clear as well. What's wrong with the two of you? It looks like you just saw a ghost, he asked them. It wasn't a ghost, it was Leah. Too alive for my taste. She was just seconds away from separating my head from the rest of my body, Keon answered him. I'm sure she was just trying to scare you, Grima said and tried to laugh off the whole thing. You're blinded by the fact that you like her. That woman is bad news, Boyhild said to him. Give me enough time, I can change her, he said and grinned. I've known you for many years, Grima. You have always chased someone. They're all the same type. Damaged. You can't change someone who doesn't want to be changed. You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You already know how this is going to end. She's going to drag you down. Boyhill looked at her friend with compassion. Just you wait, I'll show you, he said to her. It's like you're not even listening to me, Boyhill sighed. I'm listening. You just don't care. Something like that, he said and grinned. There are some wounds not even a doctor can heal. What is going on in her head is nothing you can fix, Nana interjected. The other two doctors looked at her in surprise. She looked back at them and sighed. I know what you think of me. I know I'm not as quick-witted as the two of you, but you have to give me some credit. I went through the same program as you two. I knew that I had to study harder, because I wasn't as smart as most of the other cadets, so I did. When others went out and had fun, I studied. I used every available moment I had to study. My mother was an amazing doctor. I knew I could never reach her heights, but I still tried my best. I didn't graduate top of my class, but I graduated. I deserve the same respect as the both of you, Nana said determined to the others. Ylmer smiled at her. Indeed you do. You are hard-working. You can still— Stop it right there, Boyhill said as she cut him off. You're going to say something rude, I know it. So just don't say anything else. What? I was just going to say that— I said no, Boyhill cut him off again. But no, she cut him off for a third time. Whatever. I was just going to say that it's okay to be an idiot. That doesn't take away from your achievements. I mean, look at Amund. His brain cells are playing ping pong with each other, and he still managed to become a major, he muttered quietly under his breath. There is something you want to ask me, isn't there? Aino said to Keon. It was just about time to leave. They would have to set up one more camp along the way. After that, they would reach the headquarters. I saw another one of your memories. You don't have to answer, but I just have to ask. Have you ever been called Mea? Keon asked her. Mea. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Yes, that would be me, she answered. But isn't your name Aino? Keon said, a bit baffled. Mea is my first name. Aino is my middle name. So they are both my names. I went by Mea in the old world. I thought that it was only fitting I changed it in the new world, since I myself changed with it, she answered. Time to set up camp, Ayla yelled to the officers. One more night spent in the free, for they would reach their destination tomorrow. So the two of you finally got together, huh? Niila looked at his sister and Tora standing together. Finally? What do you mean? Tora said, slightly confused. He doesn't mean anything. Ignore it, Ayla said quickly. Tora turned to her. I wasn't asking you. Let your brother answer. Fine. Niila smiled. She's had a crush on you since we were teenagers, from the first time she met you. What? Tora slowly turned his head and stared right at Ayla. Did you really have to tell him? That was supposed to be a secret. She looked irritated at her brother. Oh, come on. You're together now. I'd say the secret is out already. He smiled at her. Why did you wait 9 years to confess? Tora asked Ayla. I was so much taller than you. I didn't think you found me attractive, she said quietly. Why would I care about that? You didn't? She said stunned. No, why would I? I've never had any insecurities about my height. I never cared that I was shorter than you. Even with our creator's blood in me, I'm still shorter than you. He shrugged. But before that you were around 3 decimeters shorter. Now it's not even 1. That's a big difference. Not really, Tora grinned. To think that the mighty Ayla was crushing on me for 9 years. Too scared to admit it. Oh, that's a nice story to tell. Ayla looked at her partner. She could have confessed to him 9 years earlier, and he would have still accepted her. She had wasted 9 years worrying about something he never cared about. Great. Just great. Niila leaned over towards Tora. How do you do that? He whispered to him. How do I do what? Make her do as you say. She never does what I tell her to do, Neela answered. Why would she do what you say? Your whole life has been one long row of bad decisions. Just because she's your sister doesn't mean that she has to automatically respect you. You have to earn it like the rest of us, Tora said, agitated. Insulting my abilities as a general, are you? Neela asked him angrily. Yes, I am, Tora answered, clenching his teeth. Neela's blood was boiling. He took a swing at the Major General, but his fist was stopped mid-air by Ayla's hand. She looked right at him. How about you pick on someone your own size? He looked at her. You're not my size. No, but I am the closest, she answered. Let's even the odds. Count me in! Yua walked up next to the siblings. 2 against 1. That's not fair, Neela complained. Since when did my army ever play fair? Ayla looked challengingly at her brother. Neela felt his anger immediately drain from him. His sister had hit a sore spot. Whatever, he said as he waved his hand and walked off. Well, that was anticlimactic, Yua said, disappointed.